We know that around the world policies on electronic cigarettes and tobacco are different between different countries, but from my perspective it's very important that no government treats tobacco and electronic cigarettes the same. They are entirely different products. One of them kills 1 in 2 of its regular users, and the other one has around 5% of the risks of smoking. It's a far safer product. It contains nicotine in electronic cigarettes, but not many of the other harmful components of tobacco. So we know e-cigarettes are far safer. They shouldn't be taxed like tobacco products. They shouldn't be restricted in the same way as tobacco products. It's important that we have different policies for e-cigarettes than we have for tobacco.
What is going on in the United Kingdom on this matter?
So we have a national policy of tobacco harm reduction, which says very clearly that there are no circumstances under which it's better for a smoker to continue smoking instead of switching to electronic cigarettes. So we are actively encouraging everybody who smokes to try and stop smoking, and many of them might need to use products to do that. They can choose from licensed products like nicotine replacement therapy, or if they want to, they can use e-cigarettes. So that is, we have a consensus nationally that that's a better approach. We need policies that also, for example, make sure that young people who are not smoking are not buying e-cigarettes. We need those policies as well. But the priority for us in the United Kingdom, where we still have 7 million smokers, is to support those people to move away from tobacco, and we believe that electronic cigarettes are a viable alternative.
Do you have some first results on the effectiveness of these policies that promote e-cigarettes instead of cigarette?
Yeah, so we've seen the evidence accumulating over many years. In the latest survey, we had 2.9 million people who were vaping in the United Kingdom, and 1.5 million of those had stopped smoking while they were vaping.
It's a big percentage.
It's a big percentage, and we've just seen our smoking figures drop in the UK to 15.8%, which is the lowest rate of smoking in Europe after Sweden. And you have to remember that in the 1950s, the UK had the highest rates of smoking in the world. So we've made a lot of progress.
You seem certain, even though we do not have yet the long-term health effects of the use of e-cigarettes.
I think the key thing for me is that we definitely need more research, and the organization that I work for is commissioning a lot of studies. But we know a lot about tobacco, we know how deadly tobacco is, and we know what the constituents, the products are that are in e-cigarettes, so we can do those comparisons. I think you might see some health effects from e-cigarettes. We're not saying they're totally safe, but what we're saying is that they are far, far less harmful than tobacco. So we can be confident about that now. We need longer term studies on health effects, but also how good they are for different types of people to stop smoking, but we'll see those data in time.
The presentation here, the global forum of nicotine, is the use of electronic cigarette during pregnancy.
Yeah.
What are we about to hear?
So we know how deadly smoking in pregnancy is. It harms the mother and the baby. We don't have a lot of research on e-cigarettes in pregnancy, but we do have some small studies. What we know is that pregnant women who smoke and who find it difficult to stop smoking, many of them are using electronic cigarettes in the UK and in other countries. So the question is, what kind of advice should we give them? So a national group that I chair in the UK, we've produced practical advice for midwives, health professionals, and for women that says it is better to use an electronic cigarette in pregnancy than to continue to smoke. So pregnant women should not be discouraged from vaping in pregnancy if they find it difficult to stop smoking. And we're just about to start a very large randomized controlled trial, a long-term study of e-cigarette use in pregnancy. One group of women will get nicotine replacement therapy and counselling. The other group will get e-cigarettes and counselling. We'll follow up the women through pregnancy, and we'll follow up the children for 2 years. But these studies take a long time to do, many years, and in the meantime we have pregnant women smoking today. So what advice do you give to pregnant women today? Well, in the UK the advice is the priority is to stop smoking. If you find that difficult and an e-cigarette is helpful, you should be able to use it.